Hello, comrades! After seeing the Pyro Traveler's potential in the early days of Natlan, we were all hyped. But over time, the excitement faded. We realized he wasn't as amazing as we had hoped. Now, there's one final hope, and I'm here to break down every last detail about the Pyro Traveler so you don't have to watch any other video. But first, a special announcement. I'm giving away a Welkin Moon to my subscriber after we hit 1,000 subs. Make sure to comment and like after watching the video. Let's dive in. So, beginning with his elemental skill, the Pyro Traveler has a tap and a hold mode, which do different things based on what you choose. When tapping, he gains Nightsoul points and summons a blazing threshold that follows you and deals damage to nearby opponents at intervals. The exact time intervals aren't stated, but I'm assuming it's 3 seconds, and I'll explain why later. When you hold the skill, the Traveler gains 42 Nightsoul points while summoning a scorching threshold that deals a coordinated attack of pyro damage when any character deals any kind of damage to an opponent. This also happens every 3 seconds, which is why I assume the same interval for the blazing threshold. Now, the Traveler can stay in a Nightsoul state for up to 12 seconds, and both thresholds disappear when the points run out. I'll show the skill damage multipliers here. They're not super great, but not terrible either. The main issue is the cooldown. If you can maintain the Nightsoul state for the full 12 seconds, you have to wait an additional 6 seconds before using the skill again. This is a bit disappointing considering the skill's slow damage output. However, it provides another way to deal pyro damage off-field if you need it. A drawback people have mentioned is the lack of movement gimmicks in the Pyro Traveler's kit, like Milani's surfboard, Zilonen's roller skates, Kinnich's grapple, etc. But it's not a deal breaker. Now, onto the burst. It deals a large amount of AoE Pyro damage and restores 7 Nightsoul points per second for 4 seconds, totaling 28 points. The burst has an 18-second cooldown, so you can prolong the skill only once every 18 seconds, which is a bit crazy. However, it only requires 70 energy to trigger, so you don't need to fight for ages to use it. Moving on to the passives, the first one increases the skill's AoE damage if the Traveler has over 20 Nightsoul points. The second passive is even better. When a character is inside the AoE of the Traveler's skill, triggering specific reactions regains 5 energy every 12 seconds, and triggering a Nightsoul burst regains 4 energy for the Traveler. This is great if there wasn't an 18-second cooldown on the burst. Considering we're getting him at C6, let's briefly review the Constellations. At C1, any character gets a 6% DMG bonus while the Traveler's skill is active, and Natlan characters in the Nightsoul state get a 9% bonus. His C2 is probably the best, giving the Traveler 14 Nightsoul points up to a maximum of 28 when any pyro-related reaction is triggered. C4 grants a 20% pyro damage bonus for 9 seconds after the burst is triggered, making it best to use the skill after the burst. Lastly, C6 converts the Pyro Traveler's normal, charged, and plunging attacks to pyro damage, and increases crit damage by 40% when in the Nightsoul state. You can use his burst to trigger the pyro damage bonus and then the skill to enter the Nightsoul state, giving him increased pyro damage and crit damage if he's on the field. This makes him a weaker Arlecchino, but he still buffs himself and deals considerable damage. So I hope you understand well in this video, and if you have any question, please ask me in the comment section. I surely answer your question. After all, without you, I am nothing. That's it for today. Please enjoy the day, and good luck for your 5.3 character polls.